na budi ni na mama na ye. Family na mama me. Na mama. Honorable.
Honorable.
Sammy Gyamfi. Who say woman?
Monday. Mommy.
This thing Sammy Gyamfi has done is nothing new to a politician in Ghana.
Right.
A normal politician in Ghana goes around sharing money for people every now and then. And if you monitor social media, you see a lot of NDC guys saying this is nothing new to them because Sammy Gyamfi is a generous guy. He does it all the time. You understand it? That's the argument a lot of NDC communicators are putting up on social media. That is nothing new. Do you know how much money Sammy Gyamfi shares to people? This is no money. You understand? So we have taken certain things as normal. That if a politician comes around, he should be able to give us money. So for us, it's a normal thing in this country that politicians will give us money. So for Sammy Gyamfi to fall for this, it's not like anybody said it, but for him, you see, when you do something for a long time, it becomes like part and parcel of it. So when you are doing it, you really don't see anything wrong with it. You understand?
Yeah.
But the moment you become a public official, see, the way people look at things you have done is different from how you behave when you are a private individual.
Exactly.
So until he was appointed GOLDBOD
acting CEO.
Like this issue will not be an issue.
Exactly.
If he was still a communication officer of the NDC and goes around and gives this money, who is interested? Because it's not in public office. But when you're in public office, you have a certain way of conduct. And then see, the interest also is because people will have to ask the question, what is the source of the money?
Exactly.
What's the source of the money? Because when you're in a public office and you are spending money, we have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Okay? There are so many instances around the world when people start in public office, including this country, and misuse public money. And it's only found after the money had been used, after the money had been spent. So when somebody who is a public official is engaged in something like that, the first question will be, what even is the source of the money? And if this is just one incident, how many areas has he gone to and shared money? You understand it? And if the money is really his own, who knows? Where the money is from public purse, who will know? And because we don't have unexplained wealth law in this country, and the Ghana Revenue Authority power that they have to be able on their own audit any Ghanaian, whether private or public official, about what you own, we are also not doing it. So then the public is concerned that since these things are not being done, it means that people can have access to all kinds of money, including public money, and spend it anyhow. So I think that the Sammy Gyamfi issue is an issue simply because, first of all, he's now a public official. Two, because they used things like this against the previous government, which is one of the reasons why one of the things they did in their 120 days was to launch a code of conduct. And if the code of conduct is against opulence, and you do this, obviously people will say Prez Mahama should sack him. And that is why people are saying that if you want to look at the code of conduct critically and the things that are said there, that meant that he has to be sacked. Most of the times, this is why we put presidents in tight corner.
Exactly.
Okay, see, because if you have an honor culture, you will not wait for the president to sack you, you will sack yourself.
Resign.
Just this last week, the national security advisor for Sweden resigned. Why? His pictures were found on a dating site. Not that his naked picture or anything. The mere fact his picture is mere that his picture was found on a dating site. You as a national security advisor, what is your picture doing on a dating site? He didn't wait for the president to sack him. The very moment he came public that his picture was on the dating site, he knew that he is responsible. He quickly resigned. There are people in other countries that resigned not because of what they did happen when they were in office. Things that they did that happened many years before they became public officials came up and they resigned. I remember the minister in Germany has to resign because he had received a gift about 15 years earlier before becoming a public official. And when he became a public, the issue of that gift came up. And once it became a public issue, he had to resign. So you see, the way things are done other places, it doesn't make things difficult for the president. But in this country, when these issues come up, appointees will still want to remain in office until the president sacks them.
He has apologized publicly. Does not.
The president's hand is tied.
End it.
Apology will not end it. Apology will not end anything. It is a political issue. As I said, NDC did these things to the previous government.
He himself actually did it.
Exactly.
Went ahead to explain money laundering according to the law.
Those who are hitting him, they are not hitting him because they think that Sammy Gyamfi cannot afford $20,000 or $10,000 or whatever amount involved. They are doing it because they say, if you are a man of principle, you were attacking others for similar things. So then why should you be allowed to stay in office? So it's a typical political game we are seeing. And it's also because the NDC, in an attempt to prove that they are better than the NPP, launch a code of conduct that should guide people. And so if you launch a code of conduct and one of the issues is opulence, to read the foreword, the kind of things that were said there. And the public now says, okay, what has happened? We believe that it's breach the code of conduct, the person should be sacked. The apology cannot save you. The only thing can save you is if the president decides that he won't sack you. But you see, this is where the president is going to be in a tight corner. This is his first test after launching the code of conduct. So if the president also fails to sack Sammy Gyamfi, the question is, if subsequent appointees also breach the code, will the president have the honor to sack those people? So once the president fails to sack Sammy Gyamfi, it means that he has set a precedent that if others also should breach the code, he should not sack them. If he sacks others for breaching the code, then there's going to be internal implosion within the party to say that it's because Sammy Gyamfi is your favorite, you didn't sack him, but others who are not your favorite, you are sacking them. So right now, the president is in a fix. He either sacks Sammy Gyamfi to make sure that any other person that breaches the code will also be sacked. Or if he says he accepts apology and maintains him, it means that any other person that falters in the future should also offer an apology, and that should suffice.
Let me read.
What needs to be done is an investigation into the money that he was sharing, foreign currency dollars. You rightly mentioned that, Nana, before, that an undisclosed sum. Some you heard some saying $1,000, $2,000, $10,000. It looked for me like $2,000 when Agradaa was waving it, if they're all $100 bills. So let's, for argument's sake, $2,000. But we saw Sammy Gyamfi enter a car, his car, and remove that $2,000 or so from a bag, a container, having lots of dollars inside there. That's where we should focus our investigation. Don't look at the fruit, look at the tree.
Are you able to confirm if there was lots of dollars in there?
Oh, we can't confirm, but we have eyes.
Perhaps that's what you pulled up was all
I
the
don't want
dollars
us
in
to
there.
go off track, Nana, to four. This one is for public consumption. It's not about what I can confirm. The thing came out, and interestingly, he did it so brazenly. Can you imagine how much more dollars Sammy Gyamfi is sharing when cameras or the public are not in sight? We are making a lot of, paying a lot of attention on what we saw. I always say, when you catch a thief today, it doesn't mean he started stealing today. And then they say, oh, he's been doing this all this while.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about his generosity.
We've heard.
Yeah, even in his statements, he's admitted to doing the same.
Let's find out about where this generosity is coming from. Sammy Gyamfi on TV3, I think we've all seen the video. He said that if you are caught, when I say caught, in possession of money that you cannot account for, that is not commensurate with your salary or income, then to all intents and purposes, you are engaged in money laundering, and then you shall. And he said, not may, not may. The law says you shall. He says, check the memo. You don't need to check the memo. Talking about Cecilia Dapa on that incident. So, Sammy Gyamfi needs to tell us, per the investigation that should happen, that money, where did it come from? Is it your money? What is your salary? What land did you sell? What car did you sell? Whatever answer you will give, let us look at it, because it's innocent until proven guilty. Am I right? Yeah. So that's what the investigation needs to happen, so we can understand Sammy Gyamfi's reason for this generosity. And I'm happy that NDC on social media platforms are waking up and calling a spade and saying what he's done is disgraceful, is corrupt. This is NDC people. No, we know each other on the platforms. Because now they see that all their sweat is for nothing, cause 90. Because somebody somewhere, and don't think Sammy Gyamfi is alone. He was the one that was caught. We should not in any way, shape or form think that this NDC appointee is alone. Because the camera has not called the others, so you think it's only the whole political party. Is it only Sammy Gyamfi who's sharing dollars? These are the questions that we need to interrogate. Because Sammy Gyamfi has stated time without number that corruption, when you're so found to be guilty of, and as it should be, I subscribe to the same thing, you are jailed. Subsequent to you being found guilty of the offense thereon. And once he cannot prove where he got those funds from, you understand? Where is he sitting now? Is it not acting CEO of GOLDBOD? What is GOLDBOD's policy? And it's a fantastic policy. I'm fully in support of the policy. You want to buy gold and you're a foreigner, you can't do it here. You can apply, you negotiate, send your dollars to either GOLDBOD directly or your aggregator. We will then change it into cedis, and then your aggregator, your representative on the ground, can get the gold, and then, in fact, the GOLDBOD will ship it out to you. Why am I mentioning this? Because suddenly we're having and it's a good policy. Don't get me wrong in my submission. The GOLDBOD policy is a good policy. So now we see an influx, and a good one, of dollars coming into the country. And we're seeing its effects within the exchange rate mechanism. Am I right? We're seeing the gold reserves also increasing. And who is at the helm of that sector? Is it not Sammy Gyamfi? So this is what you're doing with the gold that is entering GOLDBOD. Because as I said, if we continue to focus on, 2,000, some people are saying dollars, I thought my jaw was fan. If it is only $2,000 per, don't look at the per, look at the purse from where the per came from. And there was a bag or some, you saw it. It's not for me to determine what was in there. So how is this a daily basis? You have your Ghana's ATM in your car, your 4x4, and as you go,
isn't that an exaggeration?
What is
Ghana's ATM?
That's what I'm saying. That it's for him to prove that the money is his own personal money.
And for me, it's a great lesson. It's a painful lesson we need to learn, because when you become a public officer or you are a figure, national figure, your life is an open book. And you see, let me say it here that the NPP, our opponent, have been looking for scandals. That they want scandals within the Mahama government. And for the last 5 months, there is no scandal.
So now you started
with them this one, they think that it's a big fish, and let's make a meal out of it, right? So it is about Sammy Gyamfi. We should investigate him. Look, within NPP,
but with the kind of governance you promised, you think this doesn't matter?
No. That's why I'm saying that the man is a victim of his generosity. His security, because the security could have prevented all those people. But you don't know the discussion when she said she wanted some food. And somebody that we see on the screen, we see who calls herself as an evangelist, right? And all the things. If you are in the position, you see, don't forget that the good Bible, when the book tells us, givers never lack. When you give, you never lack, right? So the lesson in here is that when you're a public person and what you are doing, be conscious of the environment, so that what you do, they do not put different interpretation on it. It's not good for the optics.
Because at this point, it's not even about his kindness or generosity. It's about standards.
It's about standards. But if you look at even the code of standards, what has he really breached in this? If he had gone and was showering the money on people, that is where people would ask questions. But you see, the NDC as a government and the members don't want even any blot on the regime. So all scandals, everybody is trying to make sure that nobody cause or carry these scandals that would come and be an albatross around our neck. I'm sure it was out of that. That is why he has gone and said, look, it was indiscretion. It's an act of indiscretion. But as to say that he had money, we should look at the source of the money. And within now we have done, are you saying that somebody has come and said that some money has been misappropriated, some money has been taken from a fund? If they have evidence that he's taking money from the GOLDBOD, and the GOLDBOD, I'm sure they have their own people there, they can check, and money taken from GOLDBOD, then that is when you can say that we have evidence A, B, C, D, which suggests that the money you were sharing came from this account. But you know, everybody knows that Sammy, at least, is a man of means. He's not a man of straw. He's not a man of straw, even from opposition. He's not a man of straw.